Hey guys, happy Friday. Hope everybody had a great week. We had a good week here. Okay, most of us had a good week. I had some issues with my back, kind of sucked, but doing much better now. And here to say hi. Let everybody know that the dance is coming up. So I need to know immediately if you guys want to attend the dance. It is the luau at Georgine Junior's, not this Saturday, the following Saturday, the 29th, from 7 to 11 at Georgine's. So I've been putting it out there, and we still have a few tickets left. So if you are interested in joining and having a super duper fun time, it will be in Bristol, PA at Georgine's. Always a great time. It's a sober luau, and it's going to be a good time. So if you need tickets, let me know. Hit me up, and I will get those tickets to you. I am here, but you may not be.
Larry's here. So Larry's on.
Larry. Hi, Larry. Hope everything's going great on your trip. I was looking for my charger thing today, and I was like, oh, that's right. Larry's got it in Canada. So, yeah, no wonder I couldn't find it. But hope you're having a good time. I hope you guys are all having a blast out there, up there, around there, wherever you're at. I hope you guys are loving the pictures. Pretty awesome. Swervin is here. Hey. So we're just getting started. Our engineer here was running late, like we said. Sometimes we're going to have these issues and start just a little later than we normally would. So welcome to show 120, or is it 121? Is it 121? 121. I know some of you guys are really suffering with the heat. It's warm here, but not as much as most places. Irvin, don't want to hear it. It's a dry heat. Get over it. We have a hot, wet heat here. So, can you blow that smoke back up to Canada there, Lar? That would be nice. Oh, it's a balmy 115 in Tahoe, Vegas. Now, what is it with the heat index? Probably 200. How do you know when a joke becomes a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. Good one. Good one there, Irvin. I'm so excited that you're going to be here. It's just around the corner. Irvin's going to stop in and update us on what he's been up to the last, how long you been out there now? 2 years? A year or something? So looking forward to seeing Irvin when he gets here and hanging out. Let's see, what else is new and exciting? Let's see, I don't think we have anything else coming up. I do know that, Irvin's been out there 2 years. I know that August 31st, we're going to start seeing a lot of things starting for overdose awareness, International Overdose Awareness. There'll be walks going on. I'll keep you updated as I get information on the different walks in the area. If you do know of a walk, please make sure to post it in the chat if you are able to do the chat with us. You never know who is watching and who may want to join one of those in the area. We do have people popping in from all over the place. So, pop it in and see. You never know who might want to join. For some reason, Barb is, guess I'm sending you the wrong link. I'm sending you 120. I don't know. I sent out the wrong links for some reason. But anyway, let me see if I can find the live. We are here, Barb. I'm sending the wrong link. Let me see if I can find the right one on my, that's music. Where's my YouTube? YouTube. That's 120. I don't want 120. I want live. I'm going to hand my phone to our engineer here so he can find me on, oh, there I am. Okay, here we go. Let me get this on there so I can get this out to Barb so she can find us. But yeah, we're having some heat out here, and I hope that's the right one. But anyway, yes, I will keep you updated on the different walks. I do know that ProAct will be having the walk. Not sure of the information yet. It's just getting started, but I will let you know when I find it, and I will share it on my page, and then I will be sharing it here as well as I get the information. So, check us out, and you never know where you're going to find us. Anything else in the news that you need to me to talk about, or you want to share, please pop it into the chat, or feel free to call in at 267-737-8031. We are always here. We are always listening. Also, for the walk, if you can't make the walk and would like to help the cause, you can always donate a basket. You can also donate a ticket to somebody that can't afford to go. That's also available. We have, we're almost 1 week away from it. And don't tell anybody, but tomorrow, Pappy will be, I won't tell you how old he is, but it's his birthday. So if he comes back in, his eyes are really bothering him. So if he comes back in, you can all send a, I will, Irvin, I will send you Kathy's Venmo if you have Venmo, and you can send it that way. That would be awesome. So you can send him his happy birthday when he comes in, if he comes in. He's being a wee wall. If it's not like 60 degrees in here, he usually whines. So that's an issue for him. And it's been pretty warm. Alrighty, I will do that, Irvin. And let's see, what else is in the news? Pappy is Mr. Newsman, so don't know. But if you are just joining in, this is a show. It is a recovery chat. It is for families that have a loved one who is either active in treatment or in recovery. It is also for family members that have lost somebody. And it is also for anybody that is struggling with substance use disorder. They're in recovery. Well, they're not going to be here if they're in treatment, because depending on your treatment, that's not what's going to happen. Yes, Irvin, there was major flooding in PA, in Upper Bucks. unfortunately, they are trying to still find the two children. I thought they were found, but I was wrong. They are still searching. The mother was swept away. I think the count's up to 4 now, and still searching for the two children. The roads are a mess. A lot of roads are shut down because the roads have washed away, like River Road and I think Wrightstown Road, and quite a few roads up in that area are in, need of repair. But our prayers are going out to the families that are affected by that. I do know the one family is from South Carolina. I believe they were up visiting and going to a picnic. So, that's heartbreaking. So, yes. And the waters are high. It's crazy. We have been getting so much rain. We had no grass at all in our yard. It was just like dead, dying. And now it's like you have to mow every 5 minutes. The grass is so high. Hey, Barb. Lori Ann Puma. Hello from Vegas. I know she meant Vegas. Hey, Lori Ann. My namesake there. Look at her. Irvin found another Lori Ann to bug him. But, we are, just gearing up for all the August and September stuff. Again, I will share that with you as it is coming up. I want to give a shout out to Trista. I doubt if she's watching tonight. They are doing a candlelight vigil at one of the, I'm assuming beaches down in Florida, unless she flew home. It is in memory of her son who had passed away. So she is, oh no, that's terrible when they go green. Oh, sorry to hear that. Hope you can get that all figured out. Shock, shock, shock. Looking forward to meeting you, Lori Ann. And we will be here. I believe you will be joining Irvin with us when you get here. I can't wait to see Irvin. It's been a while, and meet Lori Ann. But here it is tomorrow, birthday boy. He's going to be 26.
The big 5-0.
The big 5-0 plus.
The big
and
6-2. The
yes.
big 6-2 tomorrow, baby.
And
Don't let this boyish figure fool you.
no, I'm going to send a shout out to Lori for 4 years. Yes, woohoo! And why I am shouting out, I have another shout out. Today is, yesterday actually was my brother Robert. He just celebrated 13 years in his sobriety. And, it doesn't matter what it takes to get you there, as long as it gets you there. That's the most important. And he received his chip today, and I was lucky enough to be able to sit in on the open meeting before we started to see him get his 13-year chip. That was pretty cool. Yes, 13 is really amazing. I know Eric is in the house. I know my stepfather, I believe, is 32 years this year.
Larry
32, 33. Yep, Larry's joining us from Smoky, Canada. I hope you're not getting hit with all that smoke up there.
All them Cuban cigars everybody's smoking out.
We're getting hit with smoke really bad, but that's from a neighbor, and it's really pissing me off. But anyway.
I live on a campsite. Everybody burns all around. It's horrible. Can't
Yes.
open your windows around here.
Nope. I'm not opening them this week. It's too damn hot. I know that California is getting hit, and Vegas is getting hit with some pretty high temperatures. I think all the West Coast. I'm sure the weather's beautiful there. What is it? Snowing, or is it t-shirt weather, Lar. What type of t-shirts are you wearing today?
He's not in Antarctica.
No, he's in Canada, and Canada is still cool. It's not like here. It's not like you can put a bikini on and go swimming.
Well, across the falls, you're in New York.
I know, and it's probably cold there too. But, no, Brian, I suck at this because it was the wrong link. So now you got the right link. So Brian might be popping in any minute. How is everybody? Is anybody out there struggling? If so, please pop it into the comment. We would love to share our experience, strengths, and hopes with you. If you want to call in, the call-in number is 267-737-8031, and you can give us a call and we can share our experience, strengths, and hopes. You can vent, you can cry, you can laugh, you can share, an anniversary date, whatever, what have you. Whatever you want to do, give us a call or a chat. We're here. And I'm a new papa again. You are. Oh, and Larry's wearing a Rush shirt today.
We got spaghetti sauce on his ABBA t-shirt, so he's been soaking in an OxyClean.
Yes. So, are you a grandpapa again, Eric? Let us know. I want to see pictures too. So, I'm watching, but I can't find a comment section because I'm not a subscriber. Well, Brian can't comment, so I'm going to yell at him to subscribe. So if you are a subscriber, you will get the comment space, and you can comment on your phone or computer or a tablet. I believe they are the things that you can comment. I don't think you can comment on a TV. So
And you people in Canada, you can send us a smoke signal.
literally. And I don't know, Rich, can't they call in from Canada and anywhere else in the country for free on this line?
No, it's up to their data.
Oh, it's up to your data plan, so, sorry about that.
Long distance charges may
Yes.
apply.
But you have comments, so you can comment. I hope the charger pack is helping you out there.
Smoke signals. Hey,
Yeah.
Larry, remember them Indian blankets in the 70s and 60s and 70s? Everybody had an Indian blanket.
Yeah.
What was up with that? Never hear that no more. It's probably racist to call it that now. It's a Native American blanket.
Yeah, so how's everybody doing? We did chapter 5 last week. I think we're on chapter 6. I can't wait for chapter 7 because that's a good one. It's positive communication. No, we did this one last week.
We get to chapter 11.
Okay,
Everybody goes broke.
Yeah. Chapter 7 we are on today, and it's Healthy Boundaries, Part 1. And I don't have my glasses with me either, so I am trying to watch the comments as well. And feel free to call in. Brian, if you can't comment, our line is open. And if you are struggling and you do need to ask questions, please feel free to throw it in the comments. And we can start section 7, but we can stop at any minute to help anybody. That doesn't mean nobody call in or nobody comment if they're struggling. We're just gonna go through with Smart Recovery, Family and Friends. We're using the handbook I did the certification for this particular program, and I just think it's such an amazing program, and it's so helpful to the families out there that are struggling with, how do I help my loved one? How do I get them better? How do I fix them? And we all know that we can't, but we can always be a great support for those that are in recovery, that are struggling. Some of the tools in here can help us guide a loved one to recovery. So I think it's really important. If you do like what you have seen, again, you can go to smartrecovery.org, go to the little lines up there and key in, look for the drop down for resources, and in that resources you'll see a lot of different options. You can do videos, you can go to the store, you can get worksheets, so many different resources for this program. And you can buy the different books that will help you with a loved one. And also, you can get the books if you're in recovery or you're actively using. We have them as well. So don't hesitate to try to check that out and, see what works for you. Like I said, I've done Nar-Anon, I've done one Al-Anon, and I've done a couple other groups, and I really, truly love this program. But I do use the tools from other programs as well, because there's things that I like for them. So this is like a la carte here in this.
433 days.
Yes, Barb has
My eyes deceive me.
433
Oh,
days.
Man, that flew by.
Yes, and I'm
Easy
so
for me
proud
to
of
say.
you. And I'm so
Great
glad
job.
to walk with you on this journey, because it's just amazing. And I know Mom's excited for you. I'm sure she's in the background watching. Everybody wish Pappy a happy birthday. I'm going to get a thing of water, and I will be right back. So, Pappy, we'll talk to you for a minute.
Oh, wow. Leave me in our large. Well, it's great being with you all here again this week. It's I missed you last week. But it's great, there's Barb, it's a success story where Barb had no faith in herself at first. Now look how far she's come in. It goes to show you, man, recovery works if you work it. And that's just great news. Hopefully she's an inspiration as anyone out there that's struggling, because let's just say she was a doubting Thomas in the beginning.
Right.
And
it is true. It is a roller coaster, but you have a choice. You can buy the ticket, or you can get the wristband. So just get the ticket and learn how to, reach out and, ask for help. That's the biggest
because
thing.
there's no sneaking in under the fence. You know what I mean?
No.
You got to get a ticket or a wristband. There's no easy way.
No.
You got to put in the work one way or the other.
Yes, and you got to wait in line too. So,
There's no expedited ticket like Disney. Is
no.
that the right word? Expedited?
Yeah. I guess you can get the fast track, but that's not going to help you.
Fast track. You know what? They're not fast track. Recovery's slow and steady. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The more time you put on, the better off, man.
One day at a time.
There's no quick way about it.
Yep. So, healthy boundaries, part 1. Identifying and communicating your boundaries.
Give me some pom-poms.
Boundaries are the guidelines that we identify to define what we feel are reasonable, safe, and permissible ways for other people to behave around us and to treat us. Initially, it may be easy to shy away from the topic of boundaries, especially if especially if we think the boundaries as restrictive walls that close us in and shut others out. A more helpful way to think of boundaries is to think about the true function they serve. Clear boundaries can minimize miscommunications and free us to enjoy a healthier relationship with our loved one. Addictive behaviors are often in direct conflict with healthy boundaries. In active addiction, respective behavior that you used to take for granted is often replaced by new, unacceptable behaviors. Learn to leverage the communication skills in the previous section to effectively communicate with your loved one about your feelings and expectations regarding these new behaviors. Restoring healthy boundaries is a key to reestablishing mutual respect in your interactions with your loved one. So, healthy boundaries. And we will continue to be your cheerleader, girl.
I tell you, I gotta go find some pom-pom. But
I have
I
some.
need something that don't make me
I
look
just
fat.
found them. I'll bring them out next Friday.
Earth tones.
Healthy boundaries. Why are boundaries relevant for family and friends? All people in healthy relationships have healthy boundaries running smoothly in the background as the basis for mutual respect between two parties. We may never think about them until the relationship becomes unhealthy or experience problems. Without healthy boundaries when facing challenging relationship issues such as those that often accompany addiction, it is common to give up or change our own values in order to keep the peace and hold on to the relationship. Healthy boundaries, on the other hand, can allow us to maintain and enjoy the relationship more while at the same time staying true to our own values and our own direction. People with addiction and those who are close to them are often found to have weak boundaries and can benefit from personal work to explore. Define and communicate their personal boundaries. What do we mean by boundaries? And this is so hard when we're in these meetings. Everybody wants to know what is a boundary. You know, everybody questions it. So this is their example. What do you mean by boundaries? Boundaries are guidelines, rules, or limits that we identify for ourselves about what we desire in the way of reasonable, safe, and permissible ways for other people to behave around us. For example, I do not want to be subjected to secondhand smoke.
That's what killed the Marlboro Man's horse, you know.
I do expect you to pay your share of the rent by the first of the month. Boundaries also include those decisions we make about how we will respond when someone steps outside those limits we have identified. Boundaries are not brick walls. Walls are meant to keep people out. Boundaries are more like fences, meant to mark out personal space, rights, and preferences. It is difficult or impossible to have a relationship with someone on the other side of the brick wall. It is easier and very possible to have a healthy relationship with someone on the other side of a gated fence.
Or chain link fence.
Yeah. Healthy boundaries are not about the other person or their actions. They are about the self. Having healthy boundaries is how we remind ourselves and others that our trust, affection, time, energy, health, and friendship have value and will be protected. Healthy boundaries are a sign of respect for ourselves and our desires. Example, I do not want to be subjected to secondhand smoke. Please smoke outside. I understand that you have had a lot of unexpected expenses this month. Please remember that the rent is due on the 1st. What sort of person has boundaries? All people have a sense of how they wish to be treated. So all people do have boundaries, even if they don't use that term. People who are not well practiced in communicating their boundaries frequently experience enormous frustration. That's me. When others violate their rules of acceptable behavior, boundaries. Learning to effectively communicate our healthy boundaries can work to alleviate this frustration. I don't know, it's sticking together. Oh, no, it's not. So here's a boundary questionnaire.
A quiz. A pop quiz.
I'm giving
for
you all a pop quiz. You can, if you have,
the most dreaded thing in high school.
if you want to answer some of these true or false, you can put a T or an F in the comments. I loan money to my loved one, but often do not get repaid. Would this be true or false? I am supporting someone financially who should be able to support him herself. My loved one lies to me, covers up the truth of his or her activities. I fail to speak up when I am being treated poorly. I frequently agree to do things in order to keep the peace or to please others.
That's a big one. That happens
That's-
very, very frequently.
Yes, especially here. I am horrible with that. Give. My loved one has been responsible for causing damage or theft of my property. I give and give and give in this relationship, and in return, I get less and less and less. I don't give any thought to my own happiness. My loved one sometimes disappears for long periods of time without making contact.
We've known that to happen more than once. I mean, that's definitely a big red flag out there, people.
I frequently feel angry in response to my loved one's behaviors. That happens often. I feel like I can't make plans because my loved one is so unpredictable. I hear that so much in our meetings.
That's the parents are all afraid to take vacations.
Yeah,
and such for the
everybody's
event something bad happens.
yeah. They stop living their life because, you know, what if this is when they want me? What if this is the time that they, you know, want me to take them to this? So, you know, that happens an awful lot to the people in our groups. My loved one puts lives at risk by driving while under the influence. That happens so much that we hear it over and over again. Yes, Eric, you're in class again, and I will be marking your paper, so listen carefully.
You're going to be writing on the blackboard, buddy.
Yes, and the biggest
Over
thing
and over again.
is the family member is like, do I call the police and tell them they're driving under the influence? Do I keep my mouth shut? I'm scared to death that they're going to harm themselves or another person. I mean, that's what we hear in these meetings. I can only be happy if my loved one is doing well. Otherwise, I'm anxious. We all do that. We all do that, and we have to get past that. We really have to get past that. We have to, you know, be happy for ourselves and pray for our loved ones, because it's not going to change until they're ready for the change. Thrown the eraser. Good one, Eric.
You know, I was going to make an eraser. Right, but like I send them out to clap the eraser, but I didn't want to sound dated. Do they still clap erasers? Do they still have chalkboards? I don't know.
No, they have whiteboards.
Yeah, what do you clap a whiteboard eraser?
You
What
can't,
comes out?
but you can chuck it
Lead
at
dust?
somebody and you're gonna get
I don't know. I'm old.
Marker
I'm
on
going
you.
to be 62 tomorrow. It could be a pass.
My loved one is emotionally unavailable much or all of the time. That is something that is so prevalent in active addiction and can be in recovery as well. We hear it all the time. My loved one does not accept responsibility for any household chores. I don't feel like I'm thriving, only surviving. And that is something that, is so common with the family members that hold themselves back from living their life. And that is really something that we have to get through. And especially, it's very hard for somebody that has lost someone, because coming back from that does take a long time. And some days you might be able to go by and be okay, and then other days, whether it's a song, a smell, an event, something that you see that hits you and takes you right back to that. So that's just commonplace. That's just commonplace. My loved one is verbally or physically abusive, and grateful that we've never experienced that. But there are so many family members, especially now with whatever is going on out there, whatever they're putting into stuff. Psychosis is just like boom, it's like all over the place. It's crazy. So we hear that a lot in our groups and on the pages that I'm in. It's sad. My loved one expects me to be a backup alarm for work, school, if she oversleeps. We're all guilty of that. But I have learned that I can't be doing everything for everybody. I just can't. Poor Eric just got a B. Come on, step it up, Eric. My loved one doesn't clean up after herself. My loved one does not follow through on promises. Your boundaries may be being crossed by another. You may be crossing your own boundaries, and we do that. I mean, it's a work in progress. So, don't beat yourself up over it either. So, identifying and communicating boundaries. How do we know we have a boundary issue that needs addressing? Some signs that we may need to focus on boundaries. Feelings of depression, fatigue, anxiety, burnout, powerlessness, panic, and extreme anger. Attempting to keep the peace by putting up with things, trying to control things we cannot control. That's so true. Problems with making decisions, defining goals for ourselves, getting things done, because we've devoted ourselves to trying to manage someone else's life, addictions of our own. And that is true. We become attracted and addicted to our loved one. They become our drug of choice. We may not be putting substances into our bodies, but we are chasing them as much as they are chasing
And
their
hence
substance.
The word codependency.
Yes.
They become our addiction.
Yes. Who benefits from boundary communication? One of the consequences of addiction is a loved one's behavior that is often unknowingly hurtful, disrespectful, or disturbing to family and friends. In the short term, it may seem easier to keep the peace and not add to the drama by discussing your loved one's disturbing behavior. But think about the long term. What is the likelihood that things will improve if family and friend never share with their loved one how their behavior is affecting those closest to them? What is the likely long-term effect of family and friends if they never speak up? Is it possible that your loved one might mistake your patience and tolerance for acceptance of their behaviors? That is so true. Hear it all the time. Healthy boundaries provide a way for family and friends to respectfully communicate the problems they are experiencing with your loved one's behavior and to request alternate behaviors. You are at the center of everything. You are the most important player. You need to have the energy and heart to keep going. To make sure you do, you absolutely must take care of yourself. Getting your loved one sober. That is a book that you will hear a lot about in this program. However, it can be a little difficult to read if your loved one is drug of choice is a drug, a substance drug. Because everything in the book is, you're alcohol. So what I found myself doing is whenever alcoholic or alcohol was mentioned, I would just change it in my head to substance, and that helps you, because a substance is a substance, whether it's an alcohol, whether it's a drug, whether it's marijuana, anything that alters your mind is a substance, and it is a mind altering substance. So here is how to establish healthy boundaries. In order to establish healthy boundaries between yourself and others, first, identify the symptoms of your boundaries currently being or having been violated or ignored. Some symptoms to look for: anger, frustration, feeling powerless or hopeless. Second, take responsibility for your own upsets. Identify the irrational or unhealthy thinking and beliefs that have led you to allow your boundaries to be ignored or violated. The ABC Tools Section 4 is an excellent resource for this, and we have gone over that. If you haven't read that, you can find that
I know Jackson's song in my head. Sorry.
Yes. You can find that.
Sure, Erica's too.
Yeah. Third, identify new, more rational, healthy thinking and beliefs which will encourage you to change your behaviors so that you build healthy boundaries between yourself and others. Fourth, identify new communication skills you will need in order to sustain healthy boundaries between you and others going forward. The key word here is sustain. Fifth, implement your new healthy boundary building beliefs and behaviors in your life so that your space, privacy, and rights are no longer ignored or violated. And please feel free, like Barb's doing here, to pop in and add to anything we're touching on. You never know who's watching and watching the comments that you can help. Do you feel treatment should be different for alcoholism and substance abuse? No. I mean, treatment as far as, if it's alcohol or benzos, you have to have a different detox for sure. As far as it being an alcohol or a drug, again, it's a substance. Anything that is mind altering is a substance. So it's really the same treatment.
Yeah, the chemical detox end may be a little different, but the social and psychological angle still has to be dealt with meetings and group and everything, because it's an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so those other factors, addiction has many different layers. The physical end, the mental end, the chemical end. So but it's pretty much all the same addiction, except
Right.
for maybe the chemical end.
And like Eric says, treat the root of both addictions the same.
Right.
you know, and we just started in our parent group, our family group. They have been bringing Gam-Anon in, and having Gam-Anon speakers as well. And to hear
The similarity.
the similarities is so unbelievable.
Gam-Anon is like any other Anon. It's for family members of those trapped with a gambling addiction, how they deal with it. And like Lori was touching on, I mean, it's amazing how similar the addictions are to any other addiction. Where we think of gambling, I don't think of it as an addiction. It's just an action or whatever. But no, you get that same euphoric feeling from gambling with the dopamine starts bursting in your brain.
Yeah.
And getting you all pumped up and all. It's just like a substance.
Yeah.
It really is. It's the same reward factors in the brain that drives the addiction. It's
Exactly.
amazing.
First you lose your friends, then your job, then your family, then your home. Like, it's the same thing.
You don't care what you got to step over, what you got to do. Sorry, I'm eating atomic fireballs because I got smoke inhalation walking out to the studio right now. I don't want to be hacking and coughing all night in their microphone. So sorry
So-
for any clanging I'm going on there. I love these things. Hey.
Yeah, and you know what, Eric? And if that is an issue, you know, they have Gam-Anon for the families, and they have Gamblers Anonymous for anybody that is struggling with gambling. And a lot of times they go hand in hand, because when you're gambling, you're out at the casinos, you're sitting in your buddy's back room playing poker, you're drinking, you're drugging, you're gambling. Like, that all comes in. And a lot of times what happens, if they weren't addicted to alcohol or drugs, I'm sorry, if they were addicted to alcohol and drugs and they get treatment for all of that, they can turn to becoming a gambler and start losing everything they were building up in their treatment. So it's just so very common for that.
Yeah, that's something you got to be careful of. You know, when you do get clean and sober, people in the grasp of addiction, when they do give up one, they tend to gravitate towards something else in excess, whether it be shopping or gambling or sex addictions, or anything. So you got to be careful. Exercise addictions. Some people just get so overwhelmed with exercise, they injure themselves because they're so gung ho, because it's giving them, serotonin levels are rising and dopamine is rising, and you're feeling all pumped up and all you. So you got to be careful substituting one thing for another. And unfortunately, many times people will gravitate to gambling because there's no actual substance involved, but they're getting that euphoria.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's hard for us to understand, but, unless we've ever been a part of it. But it's actually true. I mean, even like an opiate addict going to his dealer, he starts feeling the effects of it before he even gets the drug. Just to ride to his dealer, the brain's already going a mile a minute, man. You getting all hyped up, and just on your way to the casino, man, you get in the car, you're already pumped up. It's off to the races.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
And Barb, I'm sure you felt like you were being treated differently, but I think you were really beating yourself up as well. So a lot of times, we're just there trying to figure out what's going on. And it can be a little different because alcohol is legal. Alcohol is legal, and heroin isn't. And we just came off of the huge heroin epidemic, and now we're into the fentanyl epidemic. So it's it is different. People do think maybe a little bit differently, but I think you have to think to yourself, like, it's just me in my head, because I'm afraid that I'm here and somebody's going to recognize me, or somebody's going to do this, or I'm not as bad as them, or so it's just, I think it's a game in our head, and we just have to come out of our head, be humble, and just know that your addiction is no different than the next person's addiction.
Mark thought maybe they were treating her different because she was older. It was probably the smell of Gina Tay in the room at the time. And nobody under 50 even knows what the hell Gina Tay is.
And it, you know what, and again, like a lot of times I hear the speakers and it's not trauma, it's I had the best childhood, I had the best schools, I was the quarterback to the football game, I got scholarships, I lived in
How true. We're always looking for that horrible moment
Yeah.
to justify why they did the things they did. And sometimes there isn't a horrible moment there.
No.
It's something that happens. Like Laura said, it happens to the best of families. It happens to the worst of families.
Barb says, "Shut up, Pappy."
Sorry.
But yeah,
My apologies.
like
I always remember, that was a funny story. I remember as a kid going with my buddy, we were Christmas shopping for our moms. And
my
we
karate.
go in the pennies, and my buddy goes to the lady, he says, I'm looking for that G8.
G-Nate.
Lady goes, do you mean Gina Tay? I mean, it's got that hyphen.
You know,
I don't
that-
know, G8.
that French perfume.
Yeah.
that French
That
toilet water.
Toilet water.
But that, it just, it is, I think we get into our head and we just think too much. And we just put this shit and make it up in our head. So, and maybe some people do. Maybe they're just, I got this, and, I had it worse because I was a heroin addict. Like, you just have to get out of your head and know that you're there for a reason, and you're there to get better, no matter what your substance of choice is. So do that. I wear that.
No, Larry. No, Black Friday. My mother was an Avon lady. I used to get the samplers. Here we go. I used to walk around smelling like an Italian gigolo. I was like 8 years old with all this cologne on all the time. Man, what the hell's wrong with that kid?
Yeah.
I liked Avon's Island Lime. That was one of my favorites.
Yes. So how to establish healthy boundaries? We gave you how it starts, or where you establish it, but now where do you start? Where do you start to put this into action? Gain some experience and some confidence with communicating small boundaries before moving on to the larger ones. You may wish to practice boundary communication with someone other than your loved one in order to gain experience and confidence in speaking up for what you expect from others. Whether you start with others or with your loved one, consider beginning by addressing smaller issues, such as not being inconvenienced by a coworker, your loved one not cleaning up after him herself, your loved one not participating in household chores, tackling larger and more personal issues such as behaviors directly related to substance abuse. What are some examples of boundary problems that you might like to address? And another thing is setting boundaries. When you're setting that, set the small ones and kind of give a little bit of wiggle room for them to add to that, to possibly say, okay, I can do that, but, try not to use but either. But, and there I go again, second time. That's what you do. You kind of give them some wiggle room as well. So, you know what? You want to set their curfew to 11 o'clock. So you tell them 10. And like, okay, but that's not, all my friends are there, blah, 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 blah. Can't we go to 12 o'clock? No, but I can give you till 11. So you're kind of setting you got the boundary that you wanted. and they kind of felt like they had a leeway in it. So,
Haggling. Sounds like haggling to me.
how to communicate a boundary effectively. Communicating in a direct and honest manner is a critical component to setting boundaries. It is impossible to have a healthy relationship with someone who has no boundaries and who cannot communicate honestly and directly. Learning how to set boundaries is a necessary step in learning to be a friend to ourselves and others. Since boundaries are about the self and not about the other, they are best communicated in the form of I statements. Sample format for communicating boundaries. Inform. When you do your behavior, I feel my reaction. Request. Can I ask you stop or change this behavior? Example, when you have the TV turned up loud, I feel frustrated because I can't hear the baby monitor. Can I ask you to turn the volume, please? Turn down the volume, please? Another example, when you don't let me know where you are, I feel very worried about you. I would like it in the future if you could call and tell me you are going to be late. I mean, and that's just common sense, when you're in a household, people are making dinner, people have other engagements, like, it's just common sense. It's just, it isn't about like, I'm the adult and you're going to listen to me. It's just common sense. What to expect when you communicate a boundary. I must say, you guys are my heroes, but I got to open a coffee shop at 7 a.m. So thank you for being here, and you are appreciated. Love you both, and Mom. Love you too, Barb. I think we only have 2 pages left to go.
Barb, have a great night and have a nice day at work tomorrow.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in and sharing.
Yes. Eric says, I can get you some Avon Island Lime on the sly, Paps. Know a guy.
He knows a guy.
Have a good night, Barb.
Well, while you got him on the horn, I eventually gravitated to Jovan Musk in my teenage years, but my heart still belongs to Island Lime. It's funny he remembers that. That's what it was, though. It smelled like lime.
What
Get out a duck's head, or remember all those decanters?
the
All those
decanters.
decanters, holy crap.
People saved them because they thought they were going to be millionaires one day.
Yeah. I could have retired off all my decanters. They all ended up in a shit can.
All those Hummels, find somebody that's going to pay for a Hummel today. It ain't happening. What to expect when you communicate a boundary. No matter how skillfully family and friends communicate a boundary, loved ones may likely see the boundary as an attempt to control their behavior. And if this is the case, resistance is to be expected. Reminder, in the event of a hostile response from a loved one, your immediate safety is the first priority. Postponing boundary communication may be the best option. Did you see Barb?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm probably adding too much levity. I'm gonna shut up for a minute so Barb has the guts to tune out so she can get up for work tomorrow.
I inherited my brother's. Barb, stick around. Just drink more coffee. The boundary communication may need to be redelivered in a calm manner multiple times over several days using the I statement format or using the PIUS style of communication. See Section 6, Positive Communication. Reminder, boundaries communicated to a loved one who is intoxicated may not be heard. If your loved one continues to cross the boundary, a further step in the form of deciding and communicating what action you will take in response to future violations may be required. See Section 11, Healthy Boundaries Part 2, which we'll do next. And in that situation, while you're making these boundaries, while you're thinking about your boundaries, you also have to remember that along with boundaries have to be consequences. So just be prepared to set boundaries that you can adhere to, because if you don't, they can be just stepped over and you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, Eric, if you could you mail me a letter and just put a few drops of island lime on the bottom left-hand corner of
Yeah.
the letter, and I'll take me back, just like a little scratch and sniff type letter.
Yes. And Eric, you're so right. Just any type of communication with somebody that's intoxicated is not going to get you anywhere. It's best to wait until they are in a better frame of mind. When
It's like a DJ telling the intoxicated people, please don't put your drinks on my DJ table in front of all my equipment. Yo, light up, dude. Like, yeah, I'm gonna light up. I deal with that all the time.
yes, healthy
Hey,
boundaries.
man, play Freebird. Oh.
Healthy boundary summary. Basic guiding principles for boundaries. Boundaries are invisible fences essential to protect me. It is my responsibility to know, communicate, and protect my boundaries and limits. When I know my own boundaries, I can respect others' boundaries. Facts regarding boundaries. No one has or keeps perfect boundaries. Everyone struggles to establish and maintain healthy boundaries throughout life. Boundaries offer protection from others who might knowingly or unknowingly control us, hurt us, abuse us, manipulate us, or use us. And this source comes from the Michigan Reach Out. The importance of boundaries when dealing with addiction. We all have personal boundaries, and when we are in healthy, functional relationships, boundary violations are often effortlessly worked out between the people involved. Consider that as a friend or family member of someone with addiction, we are often affected by a loved one's maladaptive behaviors. We may find ourselves feeling angry, frustrated, disrespected, or powerless. These are signs that personal boundaries are being violated. Yours and your loved ones. Communicating and working on boundary violations require effort, and the communication is often challenging, but not impossible, and definitely worth the effort. When my boundaries are violated, there are several things I can do. And this goes back to just some of the different tools that you can find in smartrecovery.org resources. I can do the ABCs, the REBTs. I can choose to accept that this person's behavior are what they are, and I can become less upset as a result of dropping my demand that they be something they are not. I will still be hurt and possibly still angry, but hopefully calmer, and be able to express my feelings in a non-confrontational way. I can communicate to my loved one about how their behaviors are affecting me. I can request that the behaviors be changed. I can decide upon and communicate my plan for dealing with future hurtful behaviors if my request is not honored. You can find that in Healthy Boundaries Part 2. I can follow through with my plan to protect my boundaries. Again, Healthy Boundaries Part 2. By taking action and following through with my plan to protect my own personal boundaries with a loved one who has an addiction, I not only preserve my own sense of self-worth, but my loved one experiences natural consequences of his/her behaviors. By not protecting my own boundaries, my loved one gets the message that his/her behaviors are acceptable. You're still here, Barb? Good. I'm only one more page to go. And then the jokes can start. Hula,
Barb with the toothpicks in her eye. Did
Yeah.
you say a latte or a cappuccino? Sorry.
hula hoop boundary analogy. Remember that hula hoop? Imagine that you have one around you right now. It is magic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Try and
okay,
fit one
yeah.
around me.
A lot of hula.
Night, Betty Ann. Remember the hula hoop. Imagine that you have one around you right now. It magically hovers around your waist area all the time. Now imagine that everyone else has one around them too. So often we spend an incredible amount of time and energy on things that we can't control. And then we get mad at ourselves for failing to do what was never possible to do in the first place because it was not within our control. Okay, you might say, but what has that got to do with the hula hoop? Think of the hula hoop as your very own sorting tool for differentiating between what you can and cannot control. In other words, if it is in your hula hoop, you can probably control it. If it is out of your hula hoop, you cannot control it, and all efforts to do so are wasted. What is in your hula hoop? Your body, your thoughts, your actions, your opinions, your values, your dreams, your wishes. What is out of your hula hoop? Everything else. Other people, other people's thoughts, other people's actions, the weather, etc., etc., etc. Are you starting to get the picture here? What is yours in your hula hoop? And those are really the only things you can control. Everything that is not yours belongs outside the hula hoop. True.
Hula
Now-
hoop is a copyrighted term.
Maybe. Now, this may sound pretty simple, but you would be amazed when you really start doing some sorting how often you find yourself in someone else's hula hoop. Imagine that for a minute. Picture yourself merrily hulaing away with your own hoop. Then picture yourself hulaing two hoops.
I imagine myself hula hooping with some Island Lime Avon one, permeating the whole room with the smell of delicious lime.
You
Hula
may
hoop. Who
say,
thinks I'm these things?
you may say, I can. Another person is one of them. Can you? So,
Hula
that
hoop.
is, safety and support is next
Oh,
Friday.
We went through that and we started late. And
Yes. So if you guys are liking this, and you need help getting to where you need to go, let me know. I'll be happy to share it with you. I do share it on my page as well. So, again, if you guys have any information coming up on walks, on anything to do with,
anything recovery related or that be beneficial to the group,
yes,
feel free to hit us up or call in or say something and share it with us.
events, walks, anything that
Cutting
comes
edge,
up.
discoveries in the
Yes.
anything.
So, again, I want to say congratulations to Lori and my brother Robert. Great job. Keep going. Recovery works if you work it. Oh, we have got a caller
Got somebody getting in under the wire.
under the wire.
Hello, caller.
Hi there, this is Larry from Canada, eh? How's
Hey.
it going down there?
Hey,
Hey,
it is, but
very
it's
smoky.
from other people in our area.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, well,
You're not getting charged long
we've
distance,
been
are
very
you?
lucky.
Yes, we.
We're not getting charged long distance, are you?
I don't know, I don't care. But what I pay for this thing, if they're gonna worry about a long distance bill, that's all the crap I love, the souvenirs. I'm gonna let a phone bill.
I mean, with being a rotary phone, did you have to hit the area code and everything? I know it's a rotary, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, yeah. Up here, they have 10 digits, then dial the number.
Yes. Now, is the battery backup helping you?
Yes, it is helping me.
Good.
I'm great. I appreciate you, lending it to me. So,
Not a
it
problem.
really helped a lot.
Not
Great.
a problem.
It's a monster. When she ordered
So
it,
it's hot as hell down here. What's that?
when she ordered it, she thought it was the size of a phone. It came. It's the size of a brick. I jump started the car. With
Yeah,
it.
it is.
And it actually,
Yeah.
it'll actually charge a laptop too. Crazy.
The Moby. The
Well,
Moby.
I don't have a laptop.
Are you enjoying your trip?
Yeah, tonight's the last night. We go back to Philly tomorrow.
Oh,
Gee, that sucks.
yeah.
Yeah, I
You
know.
should
I'm
enjoy
trying.
yourself.
Oh God, the things here we did every day. There's 2 or 3 things we did every day.
Cool.
Was it just on the train? Was only 3 days.
Uh-huh.
So 3 days on the train, and then you go to different hotels and all, and they get a little bus. They give you tours. You go to different places like mountaintops and lakes, and we went up to gondolas up the top of the mountains, and I got like 1,000 pictures. So
Cool.
get back, if anybody wants to see any pictures, we've got to sit down for 2 or 3 hours. So that's how many I had.
How did you carry all that
And-
Polaroid film with you?
Yeah, I know. How did I had to get a
bag.
black market too.
So how's the family enjoying their time with Dad?
Oh, they can't stop. They can't stop thanking me enough. I mean,
that's awesome.
it's
that
just getting to
is-
the point. Yeah, it's getting to the point where it's nauseating. I said, okay,
Well, it's never
write
too
it
long
down,
to
just
make
hold it up every
memories.
time.
Yep.
What the- Yeah.
We're so glad to hear it,
That's what I
Larry.
want to tell everybody.
Yep. Well,
This is what recovery did for me.
yep.
You know,
Yep. And be proud
tomorrow will
of it.
be, yeah, tomorrow will be 6.5 years on Saturday that I'm
Awesome.
sober.
Woo!
Yeah,
Another milestone.
yeah.
That is
And-
awesome.
Yeah, and this is the rewards of it. This is the work. People out there are struggling. Just stay with it.
Yep.
Because, things could turn around. Like, I couldn't be any happier now. I'm out here with my family. I can afford to pay for this trip for all 3 of us. Whereas 6.5 years ago, I couldn't, I had barely enough money to scrape up to buy a cheap malt liquor.
Right.
And now I'm out here in Western Canada, and now, well, I'm in Alberta now, and just enjoying everything. Going
Yeah.
up the mountains, going up gondolas up to the top of the mountains, and the views. Oh my God, it's like every 5 minutes I look at it and I say, I can't believe I'm doing this. And the mountains are so high and everything's so beautiful. The outdoorsy type, you'll love it. You'll absolutely love it. I was on it, and I needed like 15 cameras in different directions just to take pictures of all the things that I've seen.
That's awesome.
And I saw a video your daughter did not want to be in part of.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's like not that way. Yeah, she says, nah.
So have you been taking part in the local delicacies like Canadian bacon or like what else do they like in Canada?
Have you had the poutine French fries?
No, I've had elk, and I had what else did I have to eat?
You have a hamburger? I guarantee it was horse meat.
No, it wasn't horse meat.
Oh, they don't tell you. I remember in the Boy Scouts.
Oh yeah.
They didn't tell
I
us
had
until after
bison.
dinner.
Meh.
Well,
No, I had ate some bison and some elk.
Well,
So-
make sure you try some poutine fries before you leave.
Yeah, they're like a cheese fries with brown gravy on them.
Oh my God, they're amazing. And I haven't even had them
Yeah.
from Canada, from my
I
understanding.
don't know how to pronounce it. I call it poutine fries, and I know that's not
Poutine.
right. So it's
Poutine.
I just say them Canadian type fries. And just,
Yes.
it's
It's-
safer.
It's French fries with a brown gravy with cheese on top, like cheese curd, I think it's
I don't
called.
know what it
It's from my
Yeah.
understanding, it's amazing in Canada. We have the American
Version.
one. Are you going to be at Wednesday's meeting?
Oh yeah, I hope to be. Yes.
Good. Well, you'll
Because I'm
probably
gonna need about 4 days sleep.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
gonna.
you're gonna have that train lag.
Yeah. Now, how long is the flight back?
20 minutes.
See, we leave here. How do we leave here? All right. Yeah, 9.5 hours. We're leaving here around 12:30, and we won't get back to Philly till like 2 a.m.
Uh huh.
So,
Night, Barb.
So,
Hi, man. Well, we're glad to hear
You
you
know.
guys are having a blast. I look forward to seeing the pictures.
Yes.
and I got a ton of them too.
That's great.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get something to munch on before I go to bed, and have to get up early tomorrow. So.
Yes.
All right, buddy.
Well, enjoy the rest
Hey.
of the time with the family.
Yep. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
You
Right,
too.
thanks for calling in and sharing. That's our good friend Larry.
Yes.
He's out on a family vacation.
Yes.
He's been wanting to do for a long time, and I'm glad to hear everything went good. It got
Yes.
postponed last year because the son kicked out with COVID.
Like-
the week before they're supposed to leave.
Yeah, like a couple nights before they were supposed to
like
leave.
they were on tight
Yeah.
lockdown in Canada.
So Eric will soak the stamp overnight in island lime for you when he sends you your Avon
Yeah, just the
order.
bottom corner, like they send the prisoners, like women put their perfume on the letter that are so I've seen in the movie though.
Yes. So congratulations, Lar, on 6.5 years. Awesome job. Lori, my brother, Barb, awesome work. Just keep
Right.
working, one day at a time, and just keep it going.
Really, man, you guys are an example that recovery works if you work it.
Yes,
and,
our
it's
loved
great
one-
that we have you tune into the show because some people just feel hopeless. They don't think
Yep.
it's possible, and it is.
Our loved one, 7 years, 4 months. We're 8 years and 8 months into our own journey through all of this. So just keep doing what you're doing just to get another day in and to stay, healthy and start building your life back again.
And we ask everybody to please tell your friends about the show if you like what you see or what you hear. We're trying to build our viewership up. We are not monetized, so it doesn't matter. We're not making any money for subscribers. We don't so hit the subscribe bell.
Yes,
We're not monetized, but we just like to have some more viewers, and now we're getting out there and touch your base with people. And
Yes, I want to help as many people as I can. Even if it's just one a day, I don't care. Just as long as people know that there is help, there is support, and there is love out there for each and every one of you, whether you are active, whether you're in treatment, whether you are in recovery, whether you're family or
Hey, with that, I want like
friends.
1 million viewers. So I can start selling some refrigerator magnets and things
Yeah.
like that. Some swag.
I do have pens. But everybody
Are
just,
they small or big?
they're
Don't say it.
they're pens. They're ink pens.
Okay.
So everybody, sorry we were running a little late, but we are going to, have to deal with that on some occasions. Always check my page if we haven't started on time. I will put on the page whether, we can't do the show for whatever reason or we're running late and keep
We
you
gotta live life
updated.
on life's terms here.
Yes, we're living life on life's
You know, it's
terms,
late.
especially.
We appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yes, everybody, thanks for showing up. Thanks. If you could give us a like, a share, and subscribe, that would be awesome. Again,
Rick, can you make sure all those lids are tight on all that Avon? I don't want to hear calls that it all evaporated.
yeah. So everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend. We will be here next Friday, and the dances not this Saturday, next Saturday. So.
The Harvest Moon Dance.
It's luau theme, so come on out if you can. Let me know if you want tickets. Come on, let's go. Happy birthday, Pat. Taking them out to dinner tomorrow night. So everybody have a great week. We will be here next Friday.
All right, people, thanks for tuning in. Remember, recovery works if you work it.
I can't even think of it. I'm like stumped. Peace out, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you next Friday.
Love you.